Self-discipline. Being the very balance between work and play, discipline is the core aspect in our lives that gives us the ability to carry out our tasks efficiently and without distraction. Everyone faces temptations and distractions on a daily basis, but it is only through hard work, self-control, and perseverance that allows us to conquer the instant gratification that we crave so badly for. Without discipline, our lives would be in disorder and lack of organization, bowing to the sudden desire of our emotions at the slightest thought. Take, for instance, the average child studying at elementary school. Due to their inexperience with understanding their emotions and restrain their desires, you find that they openly respond to whatever they feel like doing, most often by playing instead of studying. We all know the importance of studying. The child definitely knows that studying is the right thing to do, yet he doesn't do it because he feels like playing. That is the lack of discipline. Of course, we don't expect young children at the age of 5 to have full discipline and control of their emotions, but one would not expect an adult to behave like this. On the other hand, as we age in years and understand the importance of having order in our lives, we realize that the completion of certain tasks are inevitable and in turn force ourselves to complete them regardless of our thoughts or emotions. That is, discipline being practiced. This could come in all forms, including studying for a test we may not enjoy, completing a report at work, or even having to speak with a coworker because of his poor performance at work. Discipline comes in various forms in all aspects of our lives, and only through proper practice can we learn to harness it and apply it to our everyday lives. Discipline has been attributed by scientists as the suppression of base desires and is often used by one in order to determine the best course of action when faced with a decision. It can also be thought of as a sort of restraint on one's mind and in turn their body in order to acquire a goal. It has been theorized by psychologists to being akin to a muscle, where the overuse of discipline in the short term will lead to depletion and ultimately drain the user mentally. However, similar to a muscle, the honing of discipline in the long term will strengthen it and improve as time passes. This explains why certain people appear to have higher discipline levels in their life as compared to others. Some just practice more discipline throughout their existence. As with all things in life, there will be two sides to a coin. Mainly, discipline can come in the form of an imposed discipline or one that is self-administered. Imposed discipline is defined by the act of being made to do a task by an external force, whereas for self-discipline, the control of one's actions are from within. The typical example of these two disciplines, working in synergy, is through typical parenting. Parents would often control their kids when they are young, placing regulations and rules on them such as forcing them to study, returning home early from school, or even sleeping early. However, as the child ages, the theory goes that they would begin to internalize the actions of their parents, and these external controls would in turn be transformed into an internal force that is self-discipline. You may then wonder, why bother with self-discipline when external discipline works just fine? The reason why is because imposed forms of discipline often come with a set of consequence. That is to say, punishments in order to force one to carry out the desired activity. Parents could threaten to take away their children's favorite toy or limit their computer gaming sessions should they not complete their work, or ground them if they misbehave in school. This could prove detrimental to one in the long term due to a lower productivity and lack of commitment. Once the person has a chance to be free of this imposed discipline, he would take the chance to escape. Nevertheless, here are some techniques on how to cultivate discipline and when to use different forms of discipline. 1. Use imposed discipline on activities that do not require long-term attention. You'll realize that with the side effects of using imposed discipline, perhaps the best alternative is to limit it to smaller tasks. For example, if you're already in the midst of doing something, but you're easily getting distracted by your mobile phone, you can give it to a friend or family member and ask them to return it to you only after you've done with your work. Note that this is different from putting your mobile phone aside, as your mind knows what you're trying to do and your attention would subconsciously be still on your phone. 2. Start off slow when cultivating self-discipline. As mentioned earlier, self-discipline is like a muscle. Going all out and wrecking it with all you've got in a matter of hours will not do you good in the long term, but instead leave you drained, distracted, and unproductive. Go slow and start with baby steps if you intend to change something in your life. For instance, if you want to cultivate the discipline to work out at the gym, don't go every continuous day. Instead, aim for thrice a week on alternative days and build that confidence in your ability to stick to the schedule. After you find that you're getting comfortable to the routine, slowly raise your standards and increase the frequency and subsequently intensity. Always remember that cultivating discipline is a long-term process and it cannot be rushed. 3. Manipulate your emotions to prime your mind before starting on a task. Sometimes, discipline may not be all about doing the things that you don't enjoy. Discipline helps you start on an activity, but once you've gotten started, it's a lot easier to keep going. But in order to start off on the right foot, we'd have to make it as easy for our mind as possible so as not to drain our willpower unnecessarily. Simply manipulate your emotions before starting on the task at hand to get yourself in the best state of mind to attempt the objective. By treating your task as mundane work, it will simply cause your discipline levels to plunge. For instance, having discipline means sticking to the schedule of exercising every day. But you may find after 2 or 3 weeks that exercise may get boring and you find it harder to stick to the schedule. By watching a motivational workout video or listening to some upbeat music before exercising, you can keep yourself motivated and happy so your level of discipline will not decrease as the days pass by. In life, we can either deal with the temporary pain of discipline or look back in life after years and feel the pain of regret. Always bear in mind that your level of success is determined by how disciplined you are, which in turn enables you to follow through with your dreams. If you have any questions about areas of life where you're struggling or want to make improvements, please tell me in the comments below or write to me at Facebook or Twitter, and I'll make a video about how best to approach it.